What's going on? What's going on, guys? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live. Great to see you guys. And it looks like there's a little bit of interesting overlap here between the chart and the opening sequence that I've never seen before. But anyway, sorry about the confusion there. Great to see you guys. And it is Friday night, January 7th of 2022. Great to see each and every one of you. And I've got a great show lined up for you tonight. So strap in, get ready, whether it's with some chamomile tea or a stiff cocktail or some fresh juice or something in between, because we've got a good one tonight, folks. Before we get started, if I could just ask you to smash that like button. It takes a split second of your time. It doesn't cost you a dime. Number one thing you can do to help this channel out. And if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. You're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm, of course, Steven Steele. We have an awesome community here, and I want you to be a part of it. So make sure you hit subscribe. Hit all that notification bell and ascend with us to the moon, Mars, and beyond, folks, and beyond. And also, if you're on Twitter, if I could just ask you to retweet this stream, it really does help, and it particularly helps fellow community members know that we are live. So I'm going to put the link to that tweet in the stream. If you are on Twitter, if you would be so kind to RT, hugely appreciated. Also, if you feel compelled to super chat anywhere throughout the duration of this broadcast, that's obviously tremendously appreciated for all the time and efforts put in night after night doing these things. And lastly, 2 free stocks through WEBULL for just signing up and putting in as little as 1 penny of a deposit in your account. The thing I love about my WEBULL partnership is typically what happens with partnership accounts, you don't get your kickback, right? You don't get your kickback until you start trading. $100 or more is usually the threshold. But WEBULL is, all it requires is you to sign up and deposit anything. It could be 1 penny. You could deposit 1 penny and you qualify to get 2 free stocks. And that's a tremendous value, because you're not just talking about $25 in Bitcoin. You're talking about a minimum of an instant $300 value minimum in your account. So you can do that through clicking the link pinned at the top of the chat. Anyway, let's get on with it. Let's get down to it, poppers. Who do we got active in the chat tonight? We've got the Hump Deezy. We got Keith Havens. We've got the Zombie Dojarmu. We got Marie Potter. Good to see you, Marie. We've got Kevin. Alan Schneider. Me You. Good to see you, Me You. We got Scott Herforth. Hunter Wayne. Who else? Who else we got active in here? Low Roller. Good to see you, Low Roller. Mama Crypto, of course. Good to see you in the mix. Donna Tabuki. Great to see you in the chat as well, as always. Slay Blaze. Yes, Hector the Dude. There we go. Larry Ramirez. Quad Galaxy. Haven't seen you in a few. Good to see you back, Quad Galaxy. Elijah, good to see you as well. And Anita Highwick. Good to see Anita Highwick. I think I got to everyone that's active in the chat as of now. Now, without any further ado, here we are, right? The market's looking pretty unremarkable. It's here we are, Bitcoin riding just under 42,000. It keeps going down, folks. It keeps going down. People have been asking me, what's wrong with Dogecoin? What's wrong with Dogecoin? The same thing as the rest of the market, folks. It's not rocket science. Wondering what's wrong with Dogecoin in a market like this is asking, why is there snow in my backyard during a snowstorm? It just, you just got to use your basic logic assessment skills there. The whole market's down. We're still living in a Bitcoin dominant era, Bitcoin dominant market, so everything is consequential from top down to that. I mean, I say this, I think this is good news. You shouldn't stress it. In my opinion. Now, is this correction lasting longer than I'd like it to? Sure. Is it trending more severely than I initially anticipated? To a degree. But if you recall, the last time I went live, I said we could anticipate Bitcoin going even lower, somewhere around the neighborhood of 40,000. Now, I think it's highly improbable that Bitcoin is going to go much lower than 40,000 before everything starts getting more bullish back up. That's my opinion from all the research that I have been doing the last few days. So I think we're getting more likely towards the bottom right now. I really would be surprised if Bitcoin went below 40K. So yeah. Anyway, another thing is too, especially particularly when you're talking about these top 15 cryptos, overall, it's a more sound strategy, in my opinion, just to hold long term over the course of several years anyway. So it's a journey. When in doubt, zoom out. And when we do that and we see the overall trajectory over a longer periods of time, it's usually a tale of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And this is where we find ourselves right now. Mary in New York coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you for starting things off, kicking things to gear on the super chat front with $5 super chat. Mary in New York, we love Mary in New York. Thank you for your continued support. Appreciate you so much. At the top of the news, guys, courtesy of Analytics Insight, they are giving their best cryptocurrencies of 2022. Their assessment of the best cryptocurrencies to invest in this new year. And guess what they are? On top, they have SHIB. They said they still think SHIB has a lot of growth to go in the new year, particularly due to its Doggy DAO network that it just launched, and the Bone addition as well. Number two, Avax. Avax, I agree with that. Avax is one to invest in 2022. Number 3, they have the Doge coming in with the dog money. The demand for the blockchain-based payment system is increasingly rapid as the number of crypto users grows. That's why most DeFi projects are working on decentralized payment systems. Dogecoin is one of the oldest peer-to-peer digital payment systems. The Dogecoin team has designed a powerful payment system that supports huge online payments. The Doge team is working to improve its platform by increasing transaction speed and reducing transaction fees relentlessly. The project has also been getting a lot of publicity from Elon Musk, etc., etc. And the fourth and the fifth ones are, folks, Sandbox. Sandbox, that comes a little bit of a surprise, but not really. And what else has got in here? Oh, I didn't see this one coming up. Link. But yeah, I could go with that. I could roll with that. So not a bad list for 2022. I would maybe take exception with the Link and the Sheep, but other than that, not too shabby. Next story, courtesy of the Benzinga. We love Benzinga. We love just to say it. It just kind of rolls off the tongue. From Shivdeep Diwali. Shivdeep. The first name that sounds like a 1970s gang leader is Extreme Fear gripping Dogecoin. Dogecoin traded 2.2% lower at 15 cents over the last 24 hours leading up to early Friday morning. What's moving? The meme cryptocurrency had plunged almost 11% over the last 7 days. Against Bitcoin and Ethereum, Doge rose 1.25% and almost 6% respectively in a 24-hour period. Over a 30-day window, Doge has fallen 14%, while over the last 90 days, it has declined almost 38%. In 2022, it dropped 11.23%. Doge hit an all-time high at 74 cents in May of 21. Why is it moving? Doge fell in tandem, though, with other major coins as the global cryptocurrency market cap fell 4% to about $2 trillion for the totality of the market, mind you. Doge was not included in the 10 most mentioned cryptocurrencies on Twitter as per Coin Trends data. A sentiment of extreme fear led to a plunge in cryptocurrencies on Thursday night, etc., etc. Now, let me see. CryptoKaleo tweeted, when Doge is back up under 20 stats, I'm going all in this time and just waiting. I don't give a you know what. I like that sentiment. I like that spirited sentiment from CryptoKaleo. Now, folks, again, this article briefly acknowledged it, but I think it's more important to emphasize it again. Don't sweat the technique, as Eric B. and Rakim once said in the mid-90s. And I say that because what we are seeing with Dogecoin is simply what we're seeing all across the market. Simply what we're seeing in a Bitcoin dominant market, all the way from Bitcoin to small market cap DeFis. We are seeing downturns all across the board. This isn't unique to Dogecoin. Those of you who are very bullish on Dogecoin, perhaps your biggest, I suspect maybe most of you, your biggest positions are in Dogecoin. This is not unique. What's going on is not unique to Dogecoin. Furthermore, when we look at how far Dogecoin has come over a 12-month duration period, it's been extraordinary. It's been exceptional. It's been one of the top earners, hands down, out there. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Mama Crypto says, Link. Yes, indeed. Zombie Doge Army, is McDonald's still hiring? McDonald's had a funny tweet the other day. I think it was just yesterday that expressed they're very self-aware of those memes, and they said, we are not, if you trade, hold, or buy any cryptocurrency, we are not hiring. That's what they tweeted out. We are not hiring. Batman will hook you up. Someone said, I was actually supposed to co-host on Crypto Batman show yesterday, but I had a doctor appointment that kept me much longer than anticipated, and I unfortunately wasn't able to make it there. But I have a feeling that I will be on that show pretty soon as a co-host. I like Crypto Batman quite a lot, and we get on quite well. Anyway, let's get to the next story. Next story, Morning Glory. Also courtesy of Ben Zinga. Or no. Yes, sorry, it is for courtesy of Ben Zinga. Why Mozilla is pulling the plug on donations in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin. Now, this is ridiculous. This is a ridiculous story. The Mozilla, the browser, Mozilla Foundation, a nonprofit organization that makes the Firefox web browser, said it has paused the ability to accept donations in cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Doge. What happened? Mozilla took to Twitter to announce the decision, noting that its reminder last week about accepting cryptocurrencies donations led to an important discussion regarding the environmental impact of digital currencies. Mozilla also said it is reviewing whether, under its current policy on cryptocurrency donations, fit with its climate goals. The foundation has previously said it's firmly committed to being carbon neutral. So I'll tell you what happened. Mozilla announced this on Twitter, and a bunch of people started rage posting and rage responding and saying, I don't. But it wasn't even mostly people complaining about environmental concerns. It was mostly super old school, out of touch people that just think all cryptocurrency is a scam and it's just so stupid and recklessly irresponsible. But there were some people that were virtue signaling about their environmental concerns surrounded around accepting cryptocurrency for donations, mind you. Hello, these are merely donation options to give people for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin. And I have to tell you, reading through all these rage comments that were just against the concept of opening Mozilla up for donations through cryptocurrency just seemed like a weird battle, to wage. And furthermore, these people don't know, firstly, when we look at the amount of energy that cryptocurrency eats up, it's still, even at Bitcoin, which is the biggest energy hog of all cryptocurrencies, it is still a fraction of the energy and carbon footprint that the traditional means use up. So this is a propaganda effort when people get worked up in this regard, particularly since green mining, more energy efficient mining practices are well underway, so much to the point that over half of all mining, Bitcoin mining done today is already on a much more energy efficient path than it was just 1 year ago today, and that's going to continue to increase, and it's going to be handled. Frankly, I really think it's going to be handled. Furthermore, when you consider how much less energy Dogecoin takes up than both of these put together, Dogecoin uses a fraction of the energy to the other two. But these people that are complaining about it, they don't care about the details. They don't know any of these things. They're just rage posting against cryptocurrency as a general concept, so much so that Mozilla took a real kind of spineless route and bowed to those people and now won't even accept donations via cryptocurrency. A real missed opportunity, Mozilla. Very disappointing reaction there. So Don Tabuki, thank you for paying the bills over here. Appreciate you helping to keep the lights on with the $20 super chat. You'reTheBomb.com. Hope your doctor appointment went well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I actually had 3 appointments almost back to back yesterday. A busy one. Thank you so much, Donna. Love you. Appreciate you. Let's get to the next story, folks. Let's get to the next story. This one's coming courtesy of FX Empire. Over 176 million worth of Dogecoin were moved by whales within the last 24 hours, folks. Yes, Dogecoin whales gone wild. They're going wild. They're doing shots. They're hooting and hollering at the top of their lungs. They're flashing. They're going wild. They're going wild, I tell you. Dogecoin whales gone wild. Gone wild. Maybe I should host a DVD series that you could purchase late night through a 1-800 number called Dogecoin Whales Gone Wild. Hosted by Steven Steele. Hosted by Real Deal Steven Steele. What happened? Dogecoin whales moved more than 1 billion coins over the last 24 hours, but it wasn't enough to put Doge's price higher. Dogecoin whales move over 1 billion coins. You heard it here first, folks. 1 billion coins. The recent data compiled by Doge Whale Alert shows that Dogecoin whales have moved more than 1 billion of the coins in the last 24 hours. Doge Whale Alert is a Twitter account dedicated to tracking Doge whale transactions. The account posted up to 15 transactions that carried a total of 1 billion Dogecoins over the last 24 hours. The transaction amount differed, but all of them were above 4 million Doge coins, since that Twitter handle only reports transactions that are above that amount. The whales moved a huge total worth of Dogecoin over the last 24 hours. Brokerage platform Robinhood was reportedly used in most of the whale transactions at that time. Large whale transactions on Dogecoin network are not new. On January 3rd, it revealed that several whales transferred up to over 90 million Dogecoin, over 15.5 million to an anonymous wallet. On December 16th, the Dogecoin network also reported large whale transactions after Elon Musk announced that Tesla would accept Doge payments for merch. Yes. Tesla payments for merch. That's coming soon. We don't have an exact date, but I guarantee when we do, it's going to light off some real excitement throughout the community. And I think that we should be there on the opening day when Tesla allows Dogecoin even just to pay for select merch. I think we should be in there buying that merch. I think we need to really show up, show out, really come together as a community, and really have those first month earnings reports send a very clear message, and that is people are ready and willing to spend Dogecoin, and Dogecoin is the number one option, the number one go-to choice for digital currency used in a retail space. Can you dig it? And I feel once that test balloon runs, and I think it's going to run very successfully, I think that's when Elon is going to announce full, complete Dogecoin integration into Tesla, where you can not only buy merch, you'll be able to buy Cybertrucks, plaid sports cars, etc., etc., etc. And I think it's inevitable. I think it's coming, and I think it's coming by the end of the first quarter of this new year. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Lots of reasons to still be optimistic. Even in this challenging market that we find ourselves in, there's still lots of reasons to be optimistic, particularly if you are a Dogecoin enthusiast, ladies and gentlemen. Next story coming through on Wall Street Journal. Gamestop, big news here, folks. Big news. GameStop entering NFT and cryptocurrency markets as part of a turnaround plan. The retailer is launching a division dedicated to the buzzy new technologies amid a push to turn profit. GameStop is launching a division to develop a marketplace for NFTs and establish cryptocurrency partnerships, according to people familiar with its plans, pushing the company into much hyped areas. The retailer has hired more than 20 new people to run that unit. And Cointelegraph also reporting today, GameStop shares jumped 26% today. Huge gains for GameStop today. One of the only big winners today, frankly. GameStop shares jumped 26% today in after-hours trade after the NFT division unveiled. GameStop has already reportedly hired 20 members at least for its new NFT division and is close to securing partnerships with 2 crypto firms for NFT game development. The share price of Reddit's cult favorite stock, GameStop Corporation, jumped by 1/4 in after-hours trading following a Wall Street Journal report on some upcoming NFT division. The United States retail game store giant has been quietly working on an NFT marketplace since May and ramped up things in October by listing several job openings for Web3 and NFT experienced software engineers by product marketers. An unnamed source familiar with GameStop's plans told the outlet that the unit is building an NFT platform that enables buying, selling, and gaming NFTs, along with establishing key cryptocurrency partnerships. This is huge news. Considering how big of a company that GameStop is. It's also very interesting news because here that GameStop is pivoting into the future, which is a particularly interesting dynamic when you consider that GameStop was considered a relic in terms of where it stood in the industry, that it was kind of a hang around from days past, and that's kind of the appeal and the charm and why the stonks movement got behind it, because it was an unlikely source for people to rally behind. And now I think it's a direct consequence from being motivated perhaps by the huge movement that's come to support GameStop through the stonks movement and things like this. They have been inspired to not only survive but thrive and put one huge step into the future by launching their own NFT marketplace. Where it turns out and to the degree of success that it has remains to be seen. But what we do know is they have tremendous amount of support, and they have a pretty good budget to boot. So it wouldn't surprise me if this became a wildly successful venture for GameStop. We'll have to keep an eye on it, but it's certainly a very interesting development to say the least. Neither GameStop nor RC said. This is a tweet I'm reading. SHIT today. WSJ is not on GameStop's side. I'm not convinced that the AH bump was due to the news about the marketplace. Rather, a cover story for something going on like Bitcoin, FTD course covering or margin calls. In any case, I buy and hold it. Said SSDDman.eth. Okay. I don't even know why they include that guy. I don't care. I don't care what he tweeted. I disagree with him. I think it was a direct consequence. Give me a break. Of course, the GameStop stock jumping overnight by 25% is a direct consequence of this announcement. I don't know how or why you would interpret it any other way. Pretty low IQ take from that individual, in my opinion. Next up, Vitalik Buterin tweeted up another storm, proposing a new multi-dimensional Ethereum fee structure. Folks, it's been a long day. It's been a long day of work. Calculating different gas prices for different resource uses may streamline the current fee structure for Ethereum, according to Buterin. Say Ethereum, everyone at home right now, I want you to say Ethereum Buterin 5 times fast and see if you make it through. Ethereum Buterin, Ethereum Buterin, Ethereum Buterin, Ethereum Buterin, Ethereum Buterin. Hey, I did it. How did you make out? Ethereum Buterin. I said, see how I did it? Vitalik Buterin has put his thinking cap on again in an attempt to improve the current fee structure for the network. The proposal, titled Multi-Dimensional EIP 1559, was laid out in a blog post on Wednesday, in which Buterin noted that different resources in the Ethereum virtual machine, or the EVM Voyageur, have different demands in terms of gas usage. He added that there are different limits for short-term burst capacity as opposed to sustained capacity within the EVM, citing examples of block data storage, witness data storage, and block state size changes. The scheme we have today, this is a direct quote from Vitalik, where all resources are combined together in a single multi-dimensional resource, does a poor job of handling those differences. The Buterin outlined his fairly complicated proposal changes with a lot of technical math, but in a nutshell, the proposal offered two potential solutions using multi-dimensional pricing. The first option would calculate the gas cost for resources such as call data and storage by dividing the base for each unit of resource for the total base fee. The second, more complex option sets a base fee for using resources but includes burst limits for each resource. Folks, if you're a little bit lost here, that's okay. A lot of technical jargon thrown in there. Let me put it in more layman's terms. So basically, Vitalik Buterin, he's been tweeting a lot more. He's been speaking out more about his thoughts and ideas on things more recently. And basically what this most recent tweet storm regarding things that I'm discussing here right now, it basically has to do the more detailed inside the mind thinking plans of Vitalik Buterin's ways that he's actually about to tackle the problem of high gas fees as it relates to Ethereum. So here he is just deep diving more into it, getting more specific on how that's going to be done. Keith coming in, Stephen Steele, did you crypto millionaires moving to Puerto Rico? No federal. Did I hear? Yes, I have heard that. I think that's very smart legislation, frankly, for Puerto Rico to draw more money to its territories. But yeah, Puerto Rico, no federal gains tax on crypto. I love it. Let's make that national. Puerto Rico, technically a part of the United States. Let's bring it on over the rest of the United States. I say no capital gains tax on crypto from coast to coast, LA to Chicago. Who likes Sade? I love Sade. One of the best singers that's ever lived. What a class act, Sade. Love Sade. But I've always thought that line was funny. That was one of Sade's first hits. Smooth operator. Yeah, that was her. Smooth operator. Coast to coast, LA to Chicago. Which is funny because Chicago isn't on the other coast. LA is on a coast. Chicago is not on the other coast. But I suppose coast to coast, LA to New York, it just doesn't have the same ring to it. It just doesn't have the same ring. So that becomes just a matter of a phonetic thing, right? A phonetic thing. And I, as a songwriter, I can relate to that because sometimes you just go with the lyric that fits with the rhythm more, right? And you know who's a prime example of somebody that wrote lyrics specifically that way, more in the fashion of rhythm of the words, rhythm of lyrics more than anything, was Prince. Prince often did that, but he even did it more brilliantly. Diamond Hands Freddy in the mix saying, "What's up, Mr. Steele? Good to see you, Good to see you, Mr. I was about to say what's up to myself. Good to see you, Diamond Hands Freddy. Good to see you in the mix. Seeker of Glory also in the mix. Florida has no capital gains taxes too, right? I'm not sure on the details of flow rider taxation there, but considering DeSantis is running the show for the most part, wouldn't surprise me. JJJR says, I like your style. Thank you, sir. You're in the right place. Right back at you. Yes, I love Sade. I love Sade. Anyway, let's see. What's going on here, folks? Let's go to the next story. Next story, Morning Glory, and that is coming courtesy of Rooters. It rhymes with Hooters. Don't go there for the food, but I don't think many people do. GameStop shares surge on plan to enter NFT crypto markets. Just another story about this news, and folks, I think this could be huge. I think this could be major. Just to extrapolate on the story a little bit more, GameStop is launching a division to develop a marketplace for non-fungible tokens and establish cryptocurrency partnerships, a source familiar with the matter said on Thursday, boosting the video games retailer shares 27%, extending trading. GameStop, however, has declined to comment. Wall Street Journal first reported the news, citing people familiar with the matter. The video game retailer is undergoing a revamp, with Chairman Ryan Cohen tapping executives from companies including Amazon to turn GameStop away from its brick and mortar towards e-commerce. I think this is more than likely going to prove to be a very smart move, very smart strategy. The only thing that I would add, however, is I wouldn't undersell the importance still of brick and mortar stores, particularly as it relates to a chain like GameStop. I've said this before. If I was GameStop, I would go super kitschy retro, 80s, 90s. Aesthetic wise, I'd turn each GameStop into like a 80s/90s like looking arcade. It just turned into like an arcade, except with like game consoles where people can play on the big screen, maybe charge them per, half hour or whatever. And then kids can demo all sorts of games, make it a destination, maybe have like a food and snack section too. Make it like a hangout place that encourages, and you can even upcharge a bit, like a theater or something. And you get some tunes playing. That's how I'd run it if I was doing the GameStop thing. What do you think of that idea? What do you think I'd do? That idea, in addition to opening your own NFT marketplace, hey, put the real deal, Steven Steele, in charge of GameStop marketing. I will make it hit home run style, out of the park, going, gone. I'd put GameStop back on the map like it's never seen before. I am sure of it. I'm sure of it. Next story. CNBC reports Bitcoin slumps to a 3-month low as cryptocurrency extends losses. The price of Bitcoin fell below 41,000 mark on Friday, reaching its lowest level since September 29th, according to data from Coinmetrics. Hawkish comments from the Federal Reserve this week triggered a sell-off in global stock markets, which spilled over the cryptocurrencies. Yes, these hawkish comments from the Federal Reserve, I do think have had a detrimental effect to the market, starting at the top all the way to the bottom. But folks, that's the bad news. The good news is we have a history and a body of history to show how long those effects usually happen when we get FUD coming from the Federal Reserve, when we get the FUD coming from various prominent politicians. It does have an effect. It has a very noticeable effect. That's the bad news. The good news, however, is that it doesn't last long. It usually resolves itself. The FUD gets shaken off within a matter of 48 hours max. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Keith Hampton says you'd be a good auctioneer. That's not the first time I've heard that. Folks, if you're brand new here, you're watching Real Deal Steven Steele. Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele, of course. It's great to have you with us. Listen, if you're not already subscribed, I'd like to personally invite you to subscribe. Hit all that notification bell. Ascend with us to the moon, Mars, and beyond. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. When is the tricky part? If, I have no doubt about it. I have no doubt in my mind that we're all going to get there. If you've got the patience, if you've got the duration. Particularly as it relates to the real high utility top 15 coins. The margins aren't as great short term, really, right? They're not as great short term. But the patience holding over the course of several years, I think, can have very dramatic effects on the financial freedom levels as it pertains to your personal life. Now let me get to back to the story on CNBC. The Fed's hawkish comments triggered a sell-off in global stock markets, which spilled over into cryptocurrencies. This is another thing, and I was trying to talk a little bit of sense into folks on Twitter earlier today. What we're experiencing, these bearish pullbacks throughout the cryptocurrency market. This is also as a direct consequence of what's going on in the stock market. The stock market's going through a lot of the same thing, and it spilled down. It carried down to Bitcoin, down through cryptocurrency. So it started in the stock market, folks. So for all these people that are wrapped up in stock market but poo-poo the cryptocurrency market for its high volatility and that these aren't real investments, but stocks are, folks, this bearish pullback, this latest round, it started with the stock market. So I don't even want to hear it from those folks. It started at the stock market, trickled down to us, soaking our vibe just for a bit. But we will recover. Things will go back up. I assure you, folks. I assure you. Fox Business reporting. Matt Damon roasted over divisive crypto commercial. Does he not already have enough money already, critics say. Matt Damon is being taken to task over a cryptocurrency commercial he stars in that many on social media deemed cringeworthy for its delivery to the masses. The Ocean 11 actor 51. Wow, Matt Damon's already 51. I suppose that makes sense. Boy, when you think about how many of those Bourne Identity movies he's responsible alone, I feel like he's been making those for 50 years. So in context, I guess it's not all that surprising. The highlights of history's greatest achievements and some of the world's most fearless odds breakers will deliver an exaggerated message about striking at potentially lucrative opportunities. While the proverbial iron is hot, history is filled with almost. The Good Will Hunting star boasts while taking a walk through a soundstage that imposes CGI of a large wooden ship next to him with those who almost adventured, who almost achieved, but then it proved to be too much. Anyway, so the bottom line is there's this mainstream media narrative all over the place that deems Matt Damon's commercial for Crypto.com to be very cringeworthy. I watched it myself. Today, and I thought it was fine. I thought it was a perfectly acceptable commercial. I didn't think it was cringeworthy, and I'm very sensitive to cringeworthy content, but this really wasn't it. You know what this was? This was a big nothing burger at the hands of mainstream media, who in general is anti-cryptocurrency, because they want to keep the current system in place, because that's most advantageous for them. Okay, but this really wasn't a cringeworthy commercial. This was a pretty standard commercial that you would see maybe for any sort of kind of investment geared commercial. It almost had like Goldman Sachs vibes, but cooler than that. And I like Matt Damon just fine. I thought he did just a fine job. So to me, this was the mainstream media creating something out of nothing, creating a mountain out of a molehill as an excuse to disparage cryptocurrency. Don't buy it, folks. Don't buy it. Plus, Matt Damon actually has the history of genuinely being enthusiastic about cryptocurrency. Anyway, I thought it was a good commercial. I not only did not deem it cringeworthy, but I thought it was pretty good. Thought it was pretty good. Next story, folks. This one is a doozy. This one is a doozy. Strap in, folks. Take a deep breath and make sure it's a fresh one, because you're going to need it. Because reality TV star stops selling her farts in jars to sell fart NFTs instead. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, fortunately, unfortunately. Now, those of you who watched my last show may remember I covered this story about a reality TV star who was selling her farts in the jar for $1,000 a piece. I don't know who I'm more flabbergasted and disgusted by, the maker of these farts in a jar, or the simps out there that are more than willing to pay $1,000 a pop for them. I mean, I almost hold the latter. You know, I hold the latter in in more disgust, frankly. Anyway, so now the last time I covered her on this last show, she actually ended up in the hospital. She actually ended up in the hospital because she was trying too hard to create too much gas, and it caused her a lot of gastric distress to the point that she thought she was having a heart attack or something. Got herself in the ER, and she said, "That's it. I can't keep making farts in the jar. There's too many farts that are needed." And the process of creating a diet to an environment to create such a gastric environment is become dangerous. It's become dangerous. So instead of her just rerouting and finding a more respectable means of income, no. Now she's just gonna sell smart fart NFTs. Fart NFTs. I mean, folks, what is going on? Which way, Western man? Which way, Western man? I mean, when historians look back on 2022, they're going to see a time wherein women sold their farts in a jar before ending up hospitalized, well, for trying to fart too much. I mean, what is going on in the world? What is going on in the world? But and now this girl is pivoting to fart NFTs. I'm sorry, fart NFTs? What does that even look like? Have you ever heard the phrase as a child, silent but violent? Okay, how do you put that on an NFT? What are you going to fart on an NFT and then send it over via blockchain? I got news for you, honey. Your disgusting gastric smells aren't going to translate that way. Furthermore, the weirdo simps who this appeals to, I don't think they're gonna give a damn about your fart NFTs. So I'm already predicting that the fart NFTs will not be a success. Imagine if this was your daughter. Imagine if this was your wife. She was in the news for this. Actually, she was almost someone's wife because she was how she made a name for herself is she was a contestant on 90 Day Fiancé. And it didn't work out. Now imagine if you're that guy that broke it off. And you're laying at home, searching through Entertainment Tonight or some crap like that. Or you're on your phone scrolling through news, and you said, oh, there she is. The woman I almost married, but decided not to. She's selling farts in the jar, and now she's in the hospital for it. That could have been your life, buddy. You dodged a bullet, my friend. You dodged a bullet. Well played, well played. I think we covered that one just enough. Next up on the news, Hollywood legend Sidney Poitier dies at 94 years old. Sidney Poitier dies at 94. He's most well known for his lead role to Sir with Love. Excellent, brilliant, classic movie from the early 1960s, and the aesthetics were mod, sharp, cool. Great music as well. Sidney Poitier, the first black actor to win an Oscar for a leading role, died Thursday at his home in the Bahamas. An official to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the Bahamas confirmed. Poitier was born in Miami as the youngest of 9 children. That's a large household, but grew up in the island nation of the British colony. The son of tomato farmers, he moved to New York City as a teenager, working as a dishwasher, other odd jobs, while breaking into the theatrical world. Poitier's silver screen break came when he was cast as a doctor in the 1950 film No Way Out. And other classic films like Lilies of the Field, To Sir with Love, In the Heat of the Night, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, etc., etc. Just a really sharp guy, really sharp aesthetics, really carried himself really well, real gentleman. He gave us a lot of great work throughout his life, and he lived all the way to 94. We can only be so lucky for all of us to live in 94. So hats off to you, Sidney Poitier. Next up, this one's courtesy of the Babylon Bee. For those of you who aren't familiar, Babylon Bee is a parody website. So keep that in mind as I go forward. Sliding Edge celebrating 8 months of membership. Thank you for continued support, Sliding Edge. Did farts in a jar become scarce? I don't know, man. Sliding Edge coming with a $5 super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Putting a little pep in my step. Steele, exhale. In the bag, mint mouthwash NFTs will sell. I don't know. Yeah, Heat of the Night, great movie, Sliding Edge, right? Anyway, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Anyway, Babylon Bee reports. I thought I got a kick out of this one. This is the one that made me laugh when I scanned the site today. Disney warns viewers that The Muppet Show is from a different era when comedy was culturally acceptable. Disney has replaced an offensive content warning in front of The Muppet Show, warning viewers that the program was made in a different era when comedy was still culturally acceptable. This show was made during a different era, when comedy was more culturally acceptable, reads the warning displayed on the Disney Plus page for the show. It does not reflect our modern values. Viewers that then proceed to watch the program will find the show is interrupted with a pop-up every 5 minutes that reads, if it looks like you are still watching a problematic show that contains actual humor. Would you like to do better? Disney defended the warning, saying that viewers encountering creative jokes and humor on a modern-day Disney streaming service might find the experience jarring. We just wanted to give our viewers a heads up that the show contains jokes, comedy, laughter, and free speech, said the Disney spokesperson. This feels very dated nowadays, since the show is packed full of problematic things like jokes, innovation, and quality. It's like, come on, people. This is 2022, not the Dark Ages. The Mandalorian is also going to receive a warning since old episodes of the show featured a free-thinking woman, while Jack and the Neverland Pirates will receive a content warning that the show promotes toxic masculinity and piracy. Pretty well played there. Let's see. In other news, Mario Kart 9 is now in active development. This was just announced today through a press release of Nintendo, and it comes with a new twist the analyst claims. So Mario Kart 8 Deluxe arrived on Switch in 2017, which itself was a re-release of 2014's whatever. Anyway, I just thought it was cool. I don't really want to go into this and nerd out on this too much, but Mario Kart 9 is coming. I'm a huge fan of Mario Kart. I have been since the very first one. So I just thought that was kind of cool. Next stop. Yahoo Finance is reporting. GameStop closes 7% higher on the report of the NFT marketplace. So GameStop had a super strong closing day still as a consequence of that news. Very unsurprising. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if GameStop continues to ascend as a kind of snowballing effect. GameStop could be one of the exceptions to the rule. Keep a close eye on it in the coming weeks, even in coming days. Things could keep skyrocketing for GMC, and I couldn't be happier about it. Hypebeast reporting. Let me catch up on see if what's going on in the comments. Okay, I think I'm caught up on you fine folks. Collection of Bored Ape NFTs worth millions stolen from Art Gallery owner. Todd Kramer of New York's Ross and Kramer Gallery took to Twitter last night to report that 15 of his Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs together, worth 2.2 million USD, were stolen in a phishing scam. I have been hacked. All my apes are gone. This just sold. Please help me. Kramer wrote in a now since deleted tweet. The thieves allegedly sold off a majority of the NFTs before Kramer could get help to investigate what happened. While many rallied in support of the gallerist, a number of social media users were less sympathetic. Decentralization and deregulation means you get jacked and no one can help you have fun, one user wrote. Brutal. I just helped user Todd Kramer reunite with two more of his stolen ape, the two members of the Bored Ape Yacht Club who unwittingly purchased the stolen apes. Wow. Worked with him to get them back to their rightful owner. Massive props to everyone involved. Well, that was very cool of them. Ultimately, Kramer was able to retrieve several of his ape NFTs through the help of several buyers in OpenSea. The gallerist took to Twitter, noting that he learned his lesson and to use the hard wallet, which is a secure hard wallet device that must be plugged in to engage in transactions. Yeah, that is a big learning lesson, particularly if you're starting to buy NFTs of incredibly high value as Bored Ape Yacht Club. But imagine waking up to over $2 million worth of your NFTs just gone, vanished. Alan Schneider, Steven Steele, did you hear that there will be a new Beavis and Butthead? I did hear that. I'm a big fan of Mike Judge, not only particularly through Beavis and Butthead, but I love his work of Hank Hill. You know the show. I thought it was a very underrated show, King of the Hill. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Mike Judge. Obviously, Mike Judge, or also the director and sole writer of Idiocracy as well, which ended up essentially being Prophecy on a certain level. But anyway, folks, that's about it for me tonight. I know I blazed through the news a bit quick tonight, but sometimes the shows are a little much longer. Sometimes they're more hit it and quit it. Tonight we're in a little bit over an hour. But I don't know. I might do a Twitter. Maybe I'll pop on a Twitter Spaces tonight since it's still early. I'm gonna get some dinner. I've had a long day, folks, but I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you got something out of it. Hope you had fun. I know I did. We may not be the biggest, but we've got the best. We've got the best community here, and I love it. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, this is your man, Real Deal Steven Steele. Sign off. Until next time, guys.